Hello, beautiful souls. I have missed you all. It has been a long break. And actually, a lot's been happening during this time and this break. I'm sure you've all been wondering what's going on since I haven't been posting anything or anything about the upcoming season, when it's starting, and, all the above. Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. Since I had wrapped up season 5, back in, when did we wrap that up? In November? Late November. I definitely took some time to, number one, take a break. I really needed a break of all things between balancing work and life, children, family, the holidays, all of that. And so I did. I took a few weeks off and just completely just dove into all the joyous things with family and the holidays, which was fantastic. Then, coming into the new year and really starting to focus on what I wanted to create, looking at what the new season would be like for the podcast, going into season 6, and really kind of taking this internal dive. I really went inward to see what was feeling right, because something actually was feeling out of balance for me. I love the podcast. I love everything that I do within my purposeful work. But sometimes we just kind of keep going, and then all of a sudden, again, something got jumbled in there. It was feeling maybe adding some stress. It just felt going on and on, wasn't able to focus on a lot of things. And while, again, it brings me back to this podcast. So when I went inward, I was focusing on the things that were bringing me joy, the things that were working, the things that weren't working, and maybe what I was missing or where I wanted to put energy towards. And so, I guess, long story short, I really took a long time deciding this, but I have officially decided to take a season off for this podcast. And that's what I'm here sharing with you today. So with that being said, my seasons run, around essentially like 6 months. I usually do 18 to 20 episodes in that span, and then I take breaks in between. So you can imagine running 2 seasons a year with just taking 6-week breaks in between. That's a lot when I'm always bringing up a weekly podcast. Weekly podcasts are a lot to maintain, because that means I am constantly developing and writing and planning out each of these episodes, because they are, I have learned over the years and within the life of the podcast, when I go in without a plan, that's when I'm talking in circles. Nothing kind of makes sense. And those are not really the funnest episodes, hence, the first half of season 1. There was some fun, but it was very unstructured. And so the more I've gotten into this and structuring this, and this has been a practice, and it's actually been a beautiful practice, and I love it. And I have been fueled with fire of so much that I've been wanting to share and doing this podcast. It's one thing that Copper and I just had discussed a long time ago when we started this, and she's always bringing that reminder there for me too. Do this as long as you feel joy in it. This is, I get to make the decisions. This is my podcast. There are really no rules. I don't have any authority above me into what I need to bring to the table. It is about following this inner guidance system, right? My intuition has been fueling me to do this. And not only that, it's been you, the listeners, and I'm going to take a quick second to really thank all of you. Thank you so much for your beautiful support while I've been growing and developing this podcast, because this really would just be a self-recording journal otherwise, right? So with your beautiful emails, those of you who know me can send me texts or reaching out via social media or any other aspect and telling me how much these topics have been relating to you in the moment. It means the world. So thank you, because that has always told me at least I'm doing something to help others. And that was really the purpose, is to reach at least one person who might need to hear some of this information. Well, while I've decided to take the pause here, I again wanted to further explain of what the expectations are, what's going on with me, where to find again, where all this energy that I'm taking out of this and where I'm putting it. Because I have so many things that I am trying to create within Awakened Healing. Awakened Healing is my business. It is different avenues. So I have a lot that I do in my purposeful work. So I see clients individually, and you can look at that all through my website at SherieBuckman.com. That has everything that you need to know, is all within this website. It's a brand new developed website that I hired out and had it professionally done, and I love it. It is beautiful. So yes, I see clients, and then I also do live events where I'm speaking. I love that. And that's kind of where I'm going to put some more energy in, is doing more live events. So I live in Grand Rapids. We're near Grand Rapids, Michigan. And so I've been kind of trying out these new things where I'm doing live events, which include, it's kind of very podcast related. So I will do a healing topic, and then I will do a group reading. And this is all part of the same piece. I am debating on other aspects of whether I will add it virtually or not. So if that's something you're interested in, maybe you don't live in Michigan or anywhere near me, but you would so be interested in a live event, email me. That's SherieBuckman@gmail.com. Send me an email and let me know if you're interested, because that might light the fire, or maybe telling me that need is there, and I might look into doing those as well. But a lot of this other emphasis is going into courses. So I have a brand new course that I'm just creating. That one's going out in March. You can take a look at that on my website under live or under events. It's listed there. It's a sensitivity development course. So those of you who have sensitivities, and here I'm talking about, being an empath, or having some psychic abilities, or strengthening your intuition, or just really wanting to explain some of the things that you sense and feel, whether you feel like you might have mediumship capabilities, whatever it may be. This is kind of the foundation course of learning to understand that, of finding out what your sensitivities are, and then how to kind of harness them, what it means, and developing it from there. So I will be adding so many more things to that. I am in deep dive of actually writing a new ebook. Really, this ebook is a workbook. It is going to be go with a new course that I will put on the website, which will be the empath. So it's going to be a huge workbook that'll go with the whole course. So stay tuned for that as I'm developing and working on that. And again, there's so much more. And I don't want to say anything yet because nothing is official, but there will be a lot more updates to come as time goes and we're working through some things. So this is just me saying, if you're loving the podcast and you're loving my topics, just know that even if with this break, I'm still developing things. And if you'd like to follow along, please subscribe to my email list on my website, SherieBuckman.com. You can find that on there. There will be a pop-up that'll come up on the main page, or just scroll down to the bottom. With every subscription, just know I give out a free copy of my very first ebook I wrote. I wrote this last year. It's The Self-Healing Journey. It is amazing. It's just this beautiful guide to finding our own, starting our own journeys of self-acceptance and self-love. So subscribe and get it for free. I'll send you a PDF download for that. And that also brings me to one other little piece. I guess it kind of coincides as you're looking at following me and seeing where I'm going next. The next thing is that during this inward dive I've done over the past, month and a half, 2 months, I have decided that I will no longer be on social media. That is just not the avenue I feel my business needs or wants to go. I want to do this in a different route. It just doesn't feel right for me. So social media is not the way to keep up. So again, subscribe to email through my website, or just check into my website, and I will update you guys later on as we get closer to summer of what's happening next with the podcast. Because to be honest, I don't know. I don't know if this is the end of the podcast, or if I'll continue. And that's what this break and this pause is going to tell me as we're going along. If I'm going to funnel in a different way. But please understand, I am not done sharing this wisdom and sharing again my healing experiences along with everything else. So if the podcast does cease, if I do decide to stop it, there will be information coming in another form. So stay tuned for all of that. Again, if any questions or anything else, feel free to email me, SherieBuckman@gmail.com. And don't forget to check out my new website with all of my information and your way to subscribe through my emails. It is SherieBuckman.com. And that information will be in the show description. And more than anything throughout this journey and this year for all of you, I'm really hoping that maybe this will also inspire you to take time and figure out if things are feeling out of alignment or really stressful. You know, it's a hard thing to let go of control, and that is what I am doing. It's a huge, hard lesson for me. It's one of my big soul lessons here is learning to let go of control. And this is a form of that. By letting go of the things I feel that I should be doing or pushing towards a momentum that, I don't know, trying to break walls down that just don't feel like they should be. So take time to go inward and see if you need to adjust on your path or where that needs to go. Because just those decisions, when I finalized these decisions, there's a weight that fell off and I actually feel so much more at peace, and I get to start funneling all of this beautiful, creative, energy into different aspects and different forms. So I wish you all luck. I wish you all peace. I wish you all so much love, and more than anything else as you continue in this journey. And until next time, you beautiful souls, be kind to yourselves.